This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weight. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Hey, what up? Wow, that's loud. Excuse me. Happy Wednesday. Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it is your vehicle, it is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Big show coming up today, Major Mortgage Man Cave. It is a Wednesday, so that's what she said with Alex Eschelman, ABC Fox Sports reporter down in Bozeman. She will join us. Brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. Also, we're going to talk with Helena High football coach Scott Evans. Had a big win last week. Big win over Glacier, and head up to the Flathead this week. The Bengals do, so we'll talk to him. And much more, as you can watch on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com, and many more. Go to JasonWalkerShow.com. Tweet us at JWalkerSports. You can email Jason at JasonWalkerShow.com. And call in or text 406-209-1267. All right, so we are going to start with more news out of northern Colorado. So it appears that not everything is what it looked like, at least not off the bat. As we talked was it yesterday about Northern Colorado football assistant offensive coordinator Max McCaffrey being reprimanded for breaking his clipboard and throwing a piece of it into the stands in Bozeman Saturday. The school released a statement yesterday saying that they called it a souvenir and didn't showed a lack of judgment but no malicious intent, quote unquote. MSU's police daily crime log lists the incident, according to 406mtsports.com, as an assault. An officer responded, took a report, and the case is still active. An MSU fan said that McCaffrey did not throw the clipboard shard because someone wanted a souvenir. It was actually a kid, and Yahoo Sports has talked to this senior who says, well, let's see now if I can find it. But he basically said he was heckling a little bit and said that he was giving Max McCaffrey a hard time about the tightness of his pants. And then the clipboard came flying in. It didn't hit the heckler. It hit another guy who was hit in the jaw. Max McCaffrey played at Duke and practice squad in the NFL. It's Christian McCaffrey's brother. His dad is head coach Ed McCaffrey. But, yeah. It's just don't. We'll talk to Alex Eschelman about it coming up. And get her thoughts. Montana starting offensive lineman Colton Kaintz has retired, citing mental health issues. Announced it Monday. He went to Missoula Big Sky. I'm glad he's, he said that in a note on his tweet quote, unfortunately, all things must come to an end, and in order to get the opportunity to take care of myself and my mental health, I've decided to hang up my cleats, end quote. That is a great place. Kynes lost his starting job a couple years ago, and he's been the starting right guard after being the starting right tackle. So it's a big loss for the Grizz, but this kid's taking the initiative to get out and take care of his mental health. And I think that's, a year ago we talked about it with Dak Prescott and myself. And I'm not near the athlete of those guys. But as Kynes also wrote, quote, mental health is an ever-growing issue in the world of sports, and student athletes far and wide are suffering in silence. These people are humans just like the rest of us, and there's so much more to them as people than the sport they play, end quote. That's awesome that he's taking him care of himself first. So congratulations on a nice career. It's sad that it has to come to an end, but he's doing the right thing in his eyes, and I agree. Did you see the, speaking of the Grizz, the Eastern Washington Grizz, Sam Herder, Hero Sports FCS reporter, who we've had on the show before, Montana and Eastern Washington, on average, about 263,000 viewers on ESPN2 Saturday night. People are complaining because it was an 8:30 Mountain Time start, but it wasn't fantastic viewership. And but in comparison, there was 400,000 watching other games. Where did I, let me get to it, where we saw it. Yeah, so the game the week before on ESPN2 at 10:30 Eastern, which was the same time as the Montana Eastern Washington game, South Florida BYU had 491,000 viewers. UNLV Arizona State the week before, 407,000. And the Grizz and Eastern got 263,000. So just nobody excited about the FCS. Everybody was like, oh, it's a late start. Well, you're getting other games that have the same exact time, and they're getting more viewers. So just a thought. Let's see. What else did we want to hit on here? Oh, volleyball matches have been moved in Bozeman. Mark Ader, the activities director, saying that Bozeman High and Gallatin postponing volleyball matches scheduled for tomorrow, Thursday night. They can't find suitable transportation for both teams to get down to Billings. And it appears those games are now going to be rescheduled for Monday night because Bozeman plays at Senior, Gallatin is at West. And we're seeing this more and more now in Montana. Shortage of bus drivers. Shortage of officials, which, great article from Bill Foley down in Butte, buttesports.com, saying that, and I've been saying this, you should be nicer to officials. They don't get paid. They're not making a living off of officiating. And it's gotten worse and worse over the last 2 decades, especially the last decade of parents yelling and berating officials. And it's uncalled for. So you have an official shortage. Now you have bus driver shortages. So, all right. Let's do rankings. 406mtsports.com, Power Polls. That's the one we use because it is the best. And in Class AA, it's Sentinel still on top at 5-0. West at number 2, Great Fall CMR at number 3. CMR quietly having a very good football season. Capital jumps into the poll at number 4. Butte drops to number 5 after falling at home to Capital. Big last week by 40 points. In Class A, you've got Hamilton, Laurel, Billings Central, Polson, and Whitefish. Central, the only team with a loss in there at 3. They just lost to Laurel. Class B, it's still Florence Carlton on top, followed by Columbus, Townsend, Big Fork, Malta, and then Glasgow, Eureka, Fairfield, Jefferson, and Red Lodge. 8-man, it's Drummond, Phillipsburg, and then Fort Benton, Joliet, Thompson Falls, Culbertson. Your top 5. 6 through 10, Scobie, Sims, Belt, Sheridan, and Chinook. And in 6-man, Floyd Lake on top, followed by White Sulphur Springs, Bridger, Power Dutton Brady, Shields Valley, Ritchie Lambert, Broadview Lavina, Hot Springs, Denton Geyser Stanford, Grass Range Winnett, and Big Sandy. DGS GRW picked up a win last night in a game that was rescheduled from last month. And so that was a good win. Beating Harlowton Rygate last night. Pretty handily, too. 39-6. Ace Becker with 3 touchdowns. And it was just a rolling from there. So, all right. Where else are we headed? We got On This Day in History coming up. Scott Evans, we'll talk to him, Helena High coach. And much more, including the walk-off. You can weigh in on anything you want to, Montana Sports-wise, at Jaywalker Sports on the Twitter. You can also call in or text 406-209-1267. Yankees are out of the playoffs. Thank you, Red Sox. That's nice. And anytime the Yankees lose is awesome. So there you go, the evil empire. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. That's what she said. It is brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. Alex Eschelman, ABC Fox Montana sports reporter down in the Gallatin Valley. We'll talk Cats, Grizz, and also high school and baseball. Yes, we'll talk with Alex when we return. Jason Walker Show is presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana State Law says it is your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Alex Eschelman, next. Hang on.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana State Law says it's your vehicle, and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Everyone knows about Dinner's Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Earthcam.com bringing us shots of Big Sky. How about that? Looks very nice. So thanks, Earthcam. We're partnered up with them. Appreciate that. Earthcam.com giving us great shots of Big Sky. Still to come on this day in history, we'll talk to Scott Evans, Helena High football coach, about the Bengals season and big win last week. Preview Flathead coming up this week. And much more. So, let's see here. What is that? I don't know why we have lyrics in our songs now, but that's okay. All right, before we get to Alex Eschelman, I saw this just now during the commercial and wanted to bring it up. All right, so this is coming from the Charlotte Observer. Scott Fowler wrote the article today. So there's a high school, Olympic High in Charlotte, North Carolina. Their volleyball players, 2 of them, had to serve a 1-game suspension for protesting sexual violence at the own school. 2 Olympic High women's volleyball players had to serve a 1-game suspension for protesting sexual violence at their own school. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina. They participated in a student-led walkout last Friday, so they weren't allowed to play in their game last night. But here's where it gets a little crazy at the high school, in Olympic High School in Charlotte. An Olympic football player who has been criminally charged with a sexual felony was allowed to play in at least 1 game with a court-ordered ankle bracelet coming from his uniform. Got to play a football game with an ankle bracelet. But, wow, unbelievable. So, in an email obtained by the Charlotte Observer, the athletic director, Stephanie Wilkerson, told one of the parents of the volleyball player that was suspended, of one of the 2, that there was a quote-unquote school-approved protest in the gym on Friday, but the walkout had punishment because it compromised the safety of the students and the staff. But they let a football player play who's been criminally charged with a sexual felony with an ankle bracelet on. one of the volleyball players was taken away in handcuffs, or a student was. A student was taken away, still a student. Wow. Crazy. The football coach isn't talking. The athletic director, the principal, no longer speaking to the media. So they let a football player with an ankle bracelet play who's being charged with a sexual felony. But 2 volleyball players at this school in Charlotte, Olympic High, had to sit out a 1-game suspension for protesting sexual violence at their school. Wow. What in the hell is going on there? Crazy. All right. Bobcats got a big win. The Grizzlies, tough loss. And they both have games this weekend. There's also some high school news. And who does Alex Eschelman think will win the World Series? Let's find out. It is. That's what she said.
We always hear from the guys. What about the ladies? Time for That's What She Said. Brought to you by Dinners Done Right.
Well, I appreciate you joining me as always each and every week. Dinners Done Right bringing us That's What She Said. I wish there was a Dinners Done Right, Alex, in Bozeman, because it would be perfect for someone like you who is out and about. You could throw something in the crock pot super easy, and it's done by the time you get home. So I love that. I would love that for you. If I could arrange it, I would.
Sounds like a dream, Jason. Hopefully one day.
One day. Hey, let's start, as we always do, talking about Montana State. A big win for the Bobcats last week. It started early, it started often, and it just continued to roll. And that defense is getting much better every week, it seems like.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it definitely is, Jason. And like you said, in the post-game press conference with Coach Vegan, he said that first quarter for us couldn't have gone much better. That said, wasn't necessarily perfect in that second quarter, but speaking of that defense, Eric Zambrano's interception really shifted the momentum for the Cats to eventually get Isaiah Fonse's touchdown and ultimately come away with the 40-7 win over UNC.
And before we continue, McCaffrey, the younger. So what's the story? Because Northern Colorado comes out and says, they worked with MSU and the Big Sky, and it was deemed that it was irresponsible, but nothing bad. But MSU's got police have a report on it, and they're calling it an assault. So what's the story?
So I don't know the full story, Jason. I can't speak on exactly what happened because I didn't see it. I just heard it towards the end of the game that Max, the offensive coordinator, apparently threw a part of his clipboard into the stands. I read something this morning that apparently there was some heckling going on. So that's kind of all I know. There was some heckling going on. Maybe not the smartest decision to throw something into the stands. But with that said, Max McCaffrey, this is his first time being an offensive coordinator. That said, yes, we should know not to throw things into the stands. But the McCaffreys are a household name, and I can only imagine the type of flack that they were getting at that game in any game. So I will give them that. But it's hard to defend throwing something into the stands. I think it's tough. It's a tough situation. I hope the person who was affected was okay. I don't think Montana State that I know of has released an official statement regarding the incident. I believe it's being worked through internally between Coach McCaffrey and the person who was hit in the stands by the clipboard. So hopefully it all gets worked out and we can move past it.
It's just at what age do you realize, hey, not to throw things into the stands? As college students, they also know they're not supposed to throw things onto the field. It goes both ways, right? Let's just keep the stuff in the stands, keep it on the field.
Right.
Yeah. Don't throw stuff.
It's hard to defend it. It is. So unfortunate situation, but everyone makes mistakes. Let's move past it.
Yep.
and we have Cal Poly on the docket.
We do.
Saturday.
Yep. You'll be on that with ABC Fox Montana sports reporter Alex Eschelman joining us here, Jason Walker Show. Real quick, the only thing that should be thrown at a football stadium are footballs and headsets. Just saying.
I had Coach Rich Rodriguez as my freshman year.
Oh, Rich Rod.
Coach at the University of Arizona, and he was no stranger to throwing the headset. In fact, my best friend, one of my best friends, was his daughter Raquel on the cheer team, and she told me one time that he had a guy hired specifically walking behind him from one sideline to the other end of the sideline to pick up his headset.
That's funny. Imagine being in that job.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you do.
It's tough, Jason. It's tough.
All right. Going back to that game, though, the offense continues to roll. The running game's looking good, but I'm stuck on that defense because they're under the radar, it seems. You know, like people forget how good everybody's talking about the Grizz defense, and rightfully so. But I think that Cat defense is living up to some dreams too.
Yeah, they definitely are, Jason. I mean, I just wrote it down, through their first 5 opponents, they've held their opponent to no more than 20 points, 350 total yards, and 20 first downs to their first 5 games. I think they're getting a little flack and not getting as much hype around their defense because they haven't played in Eastern Washington or a Montana yet. So I think that's what people are saying. They're saying, hey, let's wait until Montana State faces a quote-unquote legitimate opponent in the Big Sky. But with that said, you cannot give credit to what the production that they've had so far through these first 5 games, and it's only gotten better as each game has gone on. I mean, Ty Okada has been so exciting to watch, team leader in interceptions this season so far. Daniel Hardy has been an animal at his position, especially making that transition to the DN position from outside linebacker. The guys up front between, Chase Benson, then you've got Callahan O'Reilly, Troy Anderson, all of them have just been working together as a collective unit. And I spoke with Freddie Banks this past week, and I said, where do these guys get this type of bond? Because you can really feel it from being on the sidelines, the energy around that group. And he said, they genuinely just like each other. Like, I'll come into position group meetings and I have to quiet them down. Like, guys, stop making friends, stop making jokes with each other, stop talking about how each other's days are going. Let's focus here. And they're a very focused group, but a big part of what makes a team successful is that bond off the field too.
Yep, 100%. Alex Eschelman joining us. That's what she said Wednesdays, brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. All right, with Cal Poly coming up this weekend, take me through it. We know what they didn't do against the Grizz. What do the Cats learn from that game that they can translate onto the field Saturday?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting, Jason. So, of course, Cal Poly's still looking to get their first win in the Big Sky. It's going to be interesting. When we were speaking with Coach Vegan and a few of the coaches and the players earlier this week, a big guy defensively to watch out for is Matt Shotwell. He's the team leader in tackles for the past 3 seasons. So definitely a guy that you're going to be wanting to watch out on defense. And then on offense, it's going to be interesting because apparently they have used, through their first few games here this season, 4 to 5 different quarterbacks. So their offensive scheme is very vast. So the Montana State Bobcats are watching a lot of film offensively to try to understand the different types of plays and playing styles that each one of these quarterbacks are going to have.
Well, and that could be, who knows? I mean, that's a dangerous game because of that, a lot of it. But do they even pay attention to the Grizz game, or is it just, hey, we got to go out and do our thing? And they're not worried about what other teams have done against Cal Poly. For the most part, it's your scheme. It's not, you're not going to upload UC Davis's scheme in less than a week. So, as an example, so is it just, hey, focus on ourselves, take care of our own business?
Absolutely. I think it's been like that since day one. A common question that I've gotten is what's the feeling within the team, within the the coaches this week from talking to them. And truly, Jason, I feel like the vibe and the energy surrounding the program has been the same from day one to now. And it's only gotten better because I think that is their key. They're really not paying attention to anyone else. I mean, I think, of course, they're taking every game and paying attention, but they're taking it with a grain of salt, saying, oh, okay, that's what's happening over here. That's what's happening over here. But they're locked in to what they need to do and what they need to improve every single week. And you can definitely sense that when talking with Coach Vegan and the rest of the players. I just think that's the way that he runs his program so far.
Yeah, no, and he's done a nice job. Man, you look back on that Wyoming loss now and how interesting the season could have been with that. Right. Let's switch over to the other side. I called it 35-27. It was 34-28. The Grizz had a chance. But let's start with how good Eastern Washington played, and really both teams played. I mean, because that's a heck of a ball game on Saturday night over there in Cheney.
I was watching it that night, Jason, with a group of friends, and holy cow, it came down really to the very end of the game. And I was talking to my director, Sean Rainey, about the game. He was there, and I've listened to a little bit of what Coach Houck said in the post-game press conferences, and they kind of just gave the game away, unfortunately. I mean, they had it in the bag, 21-10 going into the fourth quarter, but then Eastern Washington makes a 24-point comeback, not to mention 2 interceptions, and their quarterback, holy cow, is he good.
Yeah. Eric Berry is no joke. There's a reason he's on everybody's top lists. Grizz suffering another injury to the quarterback position. I was reading yesterday, they haven't finished the season with the same quarterback in almost 8 years as Cam Humphreys. Yep. I don't know how the extent, but it's not good when your starter goes down.
Yeah, I don't know any details on an injury report for him or what that's looking like, but definitely unfortunate for their program. But that said, the depth within their program this year and the drive, I think, within their program to make a statement this season will carry them through. And I was talking with Sean about this. I just said, hey, at least this happens now and not in November. I mean, he has some time to recover and rest and really make sure that he is better for the back half of the season.
Alex Eschelman joining us, Jason Walker Show. It is That's What She Said. She is the ABC Fox Montana sports reporter, also SWX Montana. Someday she'll be all over your national television because that's how good she is. All right, Grizz, non-conference, Dixie State. Are we interested? I mean, it's just a non-conference game in the middle. It's a weird conference game or non-conference game in the middle of the conference season, but you still got to go out and win.
It is weird. But I think when you're in the state of Montana, Jason, you are always interested in what Montana and Montana State are doing, regardless of what side you're on. And I felt that from the second that I started football season here. The fan base, you're already looking forward to Cat Grizz from game one. Right. And each week it just builds up 1% more and 1% more. So I definitely think that the Treasure State natives and everyone here will take an interest to it for sure. I do think that Montana will probably run away with the win, but you never know. What do you think?
Oh, I think they will too. I mean, Dixie State moving up. The Grizz are going to win, and that's fine. It's a non-conference, so it doesn't matter in the long run. But hey, they're in state. It's a home game. Oh, speaking of going back to the Cats for a second. Why is it homecoming when they were home last week?
That's a good question, Jason. I don't know. Last weekend was family weekend, so I guess that's just kind of how it worked out.
Yeah, but
gosh, I couldn't tell you.
Because if you're on the road and then you come home, that's homecoming, right? Like
True. I'm not going to fight you there. I'm not going to fight it. But that's the way the schedule worked out.
I know.
And there you go. We're going to have homecoming this week. It sounds like it's going to be a little rainy one. So I'm just trying to soak in this nice weather. I'm hoping that I look at the forecast on my phone the morning of, and it says blue skies and sunshine. So let's cross our fingers there.
I'll be in Dillon because I've got the Montana Western Southern Oregon game that I'll be calling on SWX Montana. Probably tape delayed because you guys the Cats take first right. So, but yeah, I'll be in Dillon and hopefully enjoying some nice weather and a good football game as we get there.
I love Dillon, by the way.
Oh, it's fantastic.
We did a trip out there to cover Western a few months ago, and I love that town. It is so cute.
It is, and Coach Norse is awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, the whole program, it seemed like such a great program, and I wish it was a little closer so I could cover it a little more. But we have our Butte reporter, DJ Bauer, doing his thing there and doing a great job covering them.
Alex Eschelman, our guest here, that's what she said. All right, what's going on with the high schools? Volleyball. I saw something from Mark Ader this morning or today, the activities director for both Bozeman and Gallatin. So there were originally games scheduled for tomorrow, but they can't find suitable transportation.
Right.
So now they're going to play Monday, something like that. I mean, this is an issue that's happened in the Northwest part of the state and also Missoula this year too, and now it's affecting the Gallatin Valley.
I know, it's really unfortunate, and I just, have so much respect for Mark Ader and for the coaches, for honestly everyone involved, the parents, the student athletes, because it's not easy to constantly make those changes, and especially for the athletic directors, they have to make sure that everything goes on, and they have to make these proper adjustments. And when I first got here, May of 2020, they were dealing with all of the COVID protocols and having to work through that, thinking that this time, next year, which is now, they wouldn't have to deal with a lot of the repercussions. But here we are, and they're dealing with it in such a different way. So a big shout out to, the officials and to everyone the bus drivers, all of those people who are taking the time to do those jobs, because you don't realize how much they're needed until you're struggling right now.
Yep. And I'd never assumed or never figured in my life that transportation would be the reason the games don't get played, whether it's soccer, volleyball, whatever. An official shortage now too. We need officials. Can we start being nicer to officials and coaches, because we need them to coach our kids?
We do.
And officiate.
We do. It's so critical in an upbringing. I mean, you and I both know that. I think anybody who's involved in sports from a young age and they carry it through, it shapes you so much as a person and shapes your life so much. So big thank you to the people who are doing those jobs, and anybody who can come out and continue to help. It would be greatly appreciated. I know that for sure.
Alex Eschelman joining us. A couple final ones for her before she runs off on us for the day to do her job. So today is pumpkin seed day. Are you a fan of pumpkin seeds?
I am actually a fan of pumpkin seeds, Jason, and I am a fan of roasted pumpkin seeds. Have you ever had roasted pumpkin seeds?
Yes, they're much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can either, make them salty, or you can put a little cinnamon sugar on them. They're delicious.
Okay, so do you carve your own pumpkins?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Well,
I'm not going to say that I'm good at it.
I was just going to say, as we get closer, I want to see one. You'll have to bring it into the office so that I can see how good you are at carving.
Okay. I'll take you up on that. Couple weeks. I'm planning to go out to a pumpkin patch here in the next week or so. Maybe a haunted house with the ABC Fox crew.
Nice.
And I will make sure to have a picture of my carved pumpkin.
I look forward to that. If you wanted to put the Jason Walker Show logo in the pumpkin, that would be really cool.
I'll try. I think it would end horrifically, but I will try my best.
Okay, or that's what she said. Just something that, our time together. It is also, by the way, it is Coaches Day today, so National Coaches Day. We appreciate all coaches. And it is also Orange Wine Day today. I don't think I've ever drank orange wine. Yeah.
I don't believe I ever drank orange wine either. Maybe they'll have that at the pumpkin patch, and I'll let you know in a couple weeks.
Okay, yeah, let me know on that one. What you got coming up on Bobcat Insider with Zach McKay or Mackey? Whatever the heck.
Actually, that's a big compliment. Zach would love to be called Matthew McKay, so we can start calling him Zach McKay. He can be related to Matthew McKay. We wish we were as athletic as Matthew McKay.
Oh, man.
So Zach and I just spoke with Coach Vegan, and I also spoke with Coach Brian Armstrong about the O-line and just the offensive production so far this year. They're first in rushing yards per game in the Big Sky, so pretty incredible. And we didn't touch on this, but completely perfect production in both the rushing attack and passing attack, 276 total yards in both those areas in their win against Northern Colorado. So pretty cool. And Coach Armstrong's such a great coach and a great leader for the program. We also have a new tailgate segment. Ooh. That Zach and we go around to some of the tailgates prior to the home games and showcase some of the best tailgates. And you are not going to want to miss this one.
Okay.
It might be the best of the best.
Okay.
It's been voted on multiple platforms as the best Bobcat tailgate.
Really? Okay. So which side of the stadium?
Oh my gosh, this is going to be embarrassing. I don't know. I can't say north, south, east, west. It's in front of the BAC.
Okay. All right. So that's
that the north end?
That would be, I think they consider that the east side. I don't know. I don't know. It's
in front of the Bobcat Athletic Complex,
I like that.
Which grand opening this Friday.
Yes.
We'll have footage of that and sound from Leon Costello about the new grand opening. What I'm most excited to see, there's an entire wall as you walk in that's going to have a helmet of every high school in the state of Montana on it.
What the heck? That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, talk to the Montana State Athletic Department. They'll give you a layout, a blueprint of what they did.
Yeah, no, I just need more helmets to come in. That's what we need. That's really cool because kids can go in and I love that. It's changed a lot since the last time I saw it back in May, and I'm not going to be able to come down Friday to see it with the media tour, but it'll be awesome. I can't wait to see all the pictures.
It's going to be incredible. I will definitely take pictures and video and try to blast that out on social media as much as possible.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate the time as always. I know you got to run. What are you working on?
Today, I actually, so what's going on this week, getting ready for rivalry games. We've got Three Forks, Manhattan football coming up on Friday. We've got Gallatin, Belgrade coming up on Friday. Belgrade still trying to get their first win of the season, so that will be a fun one to watch. And then other than that, prepping for Montana State football. We've got Montana State volleyball on the road this week. It's just crazy time, Jason.
But we love it. It is who wins the World Series? Are you a baseball nut?
I'm going to go with, I watched the Yankees-Red Sox game last night.
Go Sox.
Are you a Red Sox guy?
I'm not. I'm a Mets fan, so I just naturally hate the Yankees.
Well, I'm going to go with my Giants.
Okay. At least you didn't say Dodgers. Thank you.
Can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with the San Francisco Giants.
This is an odd year, though. They're not going to win.
Say it again.
It's an odd season. They've only won in even years, World Series, within the last 10 years.
They could break it. They could break that streak. You're throwing little superstitions out here. Okay?
I'm just saying.
There's already enough of that.
Hey, as long as the Dodgers don't win, I'm happy. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right.
We'll go with that.
Hey, have fun with your rivalry games. Have fun this weekend, and thanks for joining us. We'll chat next week.
Thank you so much, Jason. Always a privilege, and I will talk to you next week.
Alex Eschelman joining us. That's what she said. Brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. Not only does Dinner's Done Right have amazing, like just frozen meals that you can get, save. They have ready-to-go meals as well. You can stop in, check out the cooler. Edible cookie dough, and that's awesome. And so much more. You have single serving dishes as well. So you can get the 2 to 3 serving, the 4 to 6 serving. You can get a single serving. And if you have like a family member who's sick and can't get out, get to the grocery store. You can get them food, take it over for them. It's microwavable. It'll be ready to go. Dinner's Done Right. That's what she said. Each and every Wednesday with Alex Eschelman, ABC Fox Montana, SWX Montana, fantastic sports reporter. All right, quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Scott Evans next here on the Jason Walker Show. This last segment brought to you by our friends at Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. Final segment on a Wednesday on this day in history, the walk-off, and much more still to come. As we get set for Friday night football, Helena High heading up to the Flathead Valley to take on the Braves of Flathead High. And joining us now to talk about it on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is the head coach, Scott Evans. All right, Coach, a fantastic win for the Bengals on Friday night over a very good football team. Take me through it.
You know, our kids just jumped up right away, and we got a huge touchdown right out the 8 by K doing a huge run. He has a great blocking on it. We kind of caught him off guard. That kind of set the tone for us emotionally, and when I guess, you know, you get a momentum right out of the gates, and we kind of never looked back. And just defensively, I just thought we did a good job of team tackling, and we knew we had to do that. I mean, we did a good job of securing the line of scrimmage, and I thought from us, it's one of our most complete games we've played in a while.
We've talked a lot about your offense, but your defense seems, I don't want to say underrated, but it doesn't seem to be getting the attention that it should. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a really good defense. It has started to get really, really good.
Yeah, you know, we've had a couple games where we just gave up some stuff, but overall, most of the time, people can't do very much against us, and we got some pretty good players on that side of the football, and we just kind of stay under the radar with them, and we know we play good defense here, and we're going to keep on doing that, and the guys are they get a little chip on their shoulder because they're kind of the no-name defense, I guess, but I don't know why that is, because you got some pretty good dudes on that side of the ball. So we'll just kind of keep going with it.
No, and it's working as we talk with Helena High coach Scott Evans, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. And we talked about him early in the season, but, you know, it's the Caden Hewitt show because, well, I mean, when you put up 6 touchdowns a game, you're going to get a lot of attention on that offensive side of the ball. And those front guys, the Hogs, are doing their work on both sides of the ball in the trenches, and that's where it starts on both sides of, you know, front end or offense and defense.
Yeah, you know, our guys, you know, got a couple of those guys that go both ways right away, you know, with Forrest Swirl and Josh Goldman playing both ways, and then we got Dylan Crispin you throw in the mix too as well. I mean, they're doing a great job of going both sides of the ball, and, you know, it shows them all sides of the ball that those three are just doing a great job, and we can count on them and rely on them, you know, and I mean, the Hewitt show, though, it's a pretty damn good one to watch, so I'd probably watch it too, so I'm kind of enthralled with it. I hope we go 6 touchdowns every week. I'll take it.
Man, between him and Jarrett Wilson up at Polson, they're setting some touchdown records, I think.
Yeah, the ball's been flying around quite a bit at old Pirate Land there by Coach Klinsman up there. So it's pretty good job by him and stuff. So I'd like to see that too.
Like I said, a big win, and it's just a confidence builder. And I asked you if it was a must-win. You said no because you don't really buy into that until the playoffs. But how big was that victory?
Oh, it was a big victory from a team standpoint. We talked a lot about getting our kind of the flow back in our system and getting in a position where, number one, is we kind of control our own destiny, and I think we put ourselves in that driver's seat again and be able to take advantage of the situation given to us. And I think the players, they learned a lot about themselves, that they can actually exceed their own expectations. So I loved what we did, and like I said, I think it's a huge win because that's a quality football program we played against there with Glacier. So we'll take that every time.
You've got Jake Rendina's number, it appears. You did it in the playoffs and doing it again the other night. But he's so good. And, I asked you what makes him talented last week, but he is very good football player still.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, he's one of those tremendous football players in the state of Montana. He just grinds. And even in that night when we got against him, he was still trying to fight for yards every time. So I think that's one of the big things we did is we just didn't stop on him, because once you stop on a guy like that, he's going off for 15, 20 yards. And once he gets ahead of steam, it's not a fun person to tackle. He is a load. I mean, I'm happy that he's not on our schedule anymore.
I was talking with Bengals football coach Scott Evans here, Jason Walker Show. All right, flip gears. You go up to the Flathead Valley this Friday night and play a winless Braves team that I don't know if they're getting better, but they have to be under first-year coach Alex Cummings. And he's got himself, we talked last week about tradition with certain teams or a couple weeks ago, but now, he's got to build a different tradition and take over a program that has been stung the last couple of years after appearing in the state championship game. But he's got some talent. There's no question about it. They just haven't put it together yet. How good is Flathead?
Flathead plays some good football. They've done some good things. They're kind of stubbing their own toe on some things, special teams and a couple other areas. But, they got some kids over there trying their butts off. And Coach Cummings, he took over the program, and I think he's adjusting his coaching staff and trying to get things organized up there. And I think it's just, it's a matter of time. Everything takes a little bit of time, and you have to bring your own culture into it. And I don't know enough about the program and what he's running up there to actually make an assessment. But, I watch him on film. The quarterback runs well. They do some good things at the running back. And they've got some talent and some positions that are just as good as anybody else in the state. So they're dangerous. We just got to make sure that we handle our job and get those things done. We'll be just fine.
It is one of those dangerous games because you definitely don't want to overlook anybody. And this would be one of those games. How do you approach it with the kids? Before you answer, these are kids that are gonna, they know what the mission is. I know that.
Yeah, the big thing for us is just like we did on Monday. We walked in with the thought process of what we did wrong on Friday night against Glacier. So we have to correct those things and work on our technique and some of the fundamentals that we didn't perform very well at. So that more of the process is about us getting better. So, I look at it from the standpoint, we know who we're playing, we know exactly we study the film, but if we can get better every week with our own team, we're going to be just fine on Friday night. So sometimes it's not even necessarily about the opponent, it's about getting ourselves better, and then the opponent is a secondary thing because who you're playing every Friday no matter what. It's just we got to get better as a team and get better with what our personnel is. So I think that's what we did very well last week. And, the week before, we probably worried about the opponent way too much instead of just worrying about ourselves. And so we're going to that attitude again this week, and we'll kind of go with that for the rest of the year.
When you look at heading up to Legend Stadium, like I said, it's newish, but it's not in the same category. And you guys got to play in some great stadiums, Memorial, Naranche, Washington Grizz. Where does Legend Stadium rank in the state of Montana right now?
Oh, it's a turf field. I'm not really a huge fan of it, to be honest with you. I think it sits out by the airport, and you get planes flying over top of it. And it's one of those things that number one is you wish it was kind of in an area where there's a little bit more traffic and a little bit more people there. But, they got a great facility. It's put away where it's a great facility for all activities, whether it be track or football. It's in a good location, but I'm just not as partial to it as I am the other stadiums. But same point in time, it still has 50 yards in between the lines, and we can go score touchdowns. So we'll be there.
Hey, did you see Winifred's new stadium?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Holy cow. An 80-yard turf field. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we got to get some better donors in this town, dang it. I'm telling you right now, we got something going on.
I've been saying that for a while now because I know they do as good a job as they can, but it's a middle school with a bunch of kids running around it all day.
Yeah.
We talk with Scott Evans here. Are you a fan of pumpkin seeds?
I am. I love pumpkin seeds.
Okay, today is Pumpkin Seed Day.
It is.
It is, yeah. It is also National Coaches Day today, so thank you for coaching because it's a thankless job at times.
You know, it has its moments, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's ever thankless. It's just one of those things that, number one, is you're prone to sometimes it gets a little down at moments, but most of the time it's a very positive environment. Just a great job to have. And I'm pretty blessed for the job I have as a coach. So I'm glad it's National Coaches Day. I didn't even know that. So it's Pumpkin Seed Day and Coaches Day. I mean, it should be probably Sunflower Seed Day if it's Coaches Day because that's what most of us chew on the sideline.
Well, most of you. We just have to keep the sunflower seeds off of the golf courses because that's not good.
That is not good. I'm not a big fan of that one, trust me. I don't like getting on the greens with sunflower seeds.
Yeah, it's brutal. All right, college football this weekend. What's the best game in the state?
The best game in the state? Well, it's going to be University of Montana versus Dixie State, but I mean, I don't know if you're going to watch that one or not, but that's what I'll be watching. But I think the game of the week actually is here in Helena. I think it's the return of Coach Mike Van Diest versus Carroll College. I think it's, he gets to see the system that he built, the place where he was at for so long, and walking in that stadium, I'm humbled to actually know the man and just see him walk in there again this weekend. It's going to be a pretty special deal for everybody involved.
I think so, and I talked to him about it before. It's also homecoming. It's also their Hall of Fame deal where they're putting Nick Howlett and Jim Hogan back into the Hall of Fame to join Van Diest. But those are two pretty good assistants.
Yeah, they're guys. It's so funny how the coaching community goes on. Coach Hogan was my D coordinator in college for 3 years, and Nick Howlett, I helped recruit him to get to Western. So there's a tie-in all over the place in this. And I'm so proud of those two to be able to be in there. And same point in time, they're on the other side. They're going to look across the sidelines and see Coach Van Diest over there. So it's a heck of a homecoming, is what it is.
It definitely is. I will be in Dillon. Because I got the Montana Western Southern Oregon game on SWX Montana.
Nice.
So I'll be calling that game down there, and I think that's going to be good because John Junn's a really good quarterback.
He's very good, very good.
And Southern Oregon's got Matt Struck, who is pretty good too. So this is two pretty good offenses and two really good defenses. Who wins that battle? I know you're going to choose Western, but.
I'm telling you right now, it's the Dogs. We all know that. It's the Dogs.
Well, no, but I mean, if you have two offenses that are both great and two defenses that are both great, usually who wins that battle?
I think, honestly, when people don't look at it as special teams, I look at some of those things that are going wrong on special teams. You're seeing it across the nation. Every time you turn on television, you see a guy making a special teams mistake. And I think guys are skipping out on that way too much, and especially and when you're in a position where you're a top-ranked team, you better take care of that third option on a team to make sure it's taken care of. And so I think that's one of those things that people should be more aware of. And so I'm going to give the lean on towards the Western again on that one because I think they do a good job of special teams.
They do. Coach Norse has a really good staff down there too. All right, I'll let you run. Appreciate the time. Have a good game. Have a safe travel up to the Flathead. Get the win. We'll chat next week like we always do. And we only got 3 games left in the regular season, Coach. I mean, we're going to be in the playoffs by the end of this month.
It is flying by, Jason. It is flying by, I'm telling you.
It absolutely is. Hey, thanks for the time. We'll, like I said, chat next week, and good luck Friday night.
Appreciate it, Jason, and go Bengals.
Helena High Coach Scott Evans joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline, as do all of our guests appear via the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. It's not just a bundle. It's your home, it's your auto, it's your life, and Mike understands that, and he'll take care of you. Visit Mike Miller State Farm in Helena. All right, time to do On This Day in History. It is presented by Mountain Nutrition at 3222 Centennial Drive. Had the another tea today, another shake today. They're so good. 21 vitamins and minerals or proteins, vitamins and minerals. 21 vitamins and minerals in the protein shakes. Energy teas that boost your metabolism. Protein shakes with 24 grams of protein along with the vitamins and minerals. If you go on Facebook and Instagram, see their weekly and daily specials. And also tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show. It is October 6th. It is Walk to School Day, Pumpkin Seed Day, Orange Wine Day, Noodle Day, Coffee with a Cop Day, any day, and National Coaches Day. 1882, first World Series baseball game. Cincinnati Red Stockings beat the Chicago White Stockings. 1911, Boston Rustlers, future Baseball Hall of Famer Cy Young, his Major League farewell, loses 13-3 in his 906th game. He went 5-11 and 315 in his career. That's impressive. Neither record will ever be broke. 1919, Chicago White Sox catcher Ray Schalk is ejected from the World Series in Game 5. He gets upset when his teammates, pitchers, refuse to follow his signals, and now we know why they refused. 1926, Babe Ruth, the first baseball player to hit 3 home runs in a World Series game. 1985, Yankees knuckleballer Phil Niekro becomes the 18th to win 300 games, and the oldest to pitch a shutout at the age of 46. Michael Jordan retired for the first time on this date in 1993. 3 championships. Went and decided he was going to try to play baseball and pay off some gambling debts. Came back a couple years later. 2010, Roy Halladay of the Phillies becomes the second postseason no-hitter in Game 1 of the NLDS. It is Helen Wills Moody's birthday today, 1905. She won 19 Grand Slams. Happy birthday, Kevin Cronin of REO Speedwagon. They were just here at the Civic Center in Helena. 1951 he was born. It is Elizabeth Shue's birthday. She was in Cocktail. 1963 she was born. I think Adventures in Babysitting too, but and Piranha 3D, where she was the sheriff. Jim Sharp's birthday today. The great bull rider was born in 1965. A couple of deaths. Buck O'Neill passed away on this date. The great Kansas City Monarchs player and really integral piece of the Negro Leagues Museum, which is a fantastic museum down there in Kansas City. Have to visit it every time I go. He passed away on this date 15 years ago at the age of 94. Eddie Van Halen died on this date last year. And on this date in 1866, the first train robbery took place in the United States. The Reno brothers got $13,000.
We always
do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
The walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco, where the Big Easy meets the Big Sky. Sue just Facebook Montana State has a game. We know. We talked about it. Coach Evans got a kid playing over there with the Grizzland, though. So we got you, Sue. And I don't understand the putting one. What helps putting? Maybe the turf. All right, Sue will explain. Thanks for listening, by the way. Thanks for checking us out. JasonWalkerShow.com if you missed anything. Oh, by the way, Argo's men's and women's soccer for this weekend, Providence, has been canceled due to the COVID. They were scheduled to play Eastern Oregon College of Idaho Friday, Eastern Oregon Saturday at home. And so someone is forfeiting. So I think it's the Argos. But their games have been canceled. So they're not playing this weekend. And they're forfeits. Let's see. What else I think we got it all. All right. Hey, thanks to Alex Eschelman for joining us. Thanks to Scott Evans for joining us. It's always a pleasure talking with those two. And tomorrow we're going to have predictions. Tell you who's going to win games over the weekend. Also, what else are we going to do tomorrow? Oh, we're going to talk to Dallas Remington, singer-songwriter. She will join us from Nashville. Got a new single coming out, so we'll talk to her. And we'll just see what else we do tomorrow. Should be a good time, right? Hope you join us. It's going to be fun, as always. All right. JasonWalkerShow.com if you missed anything like I said. And you can always go there. You can click on what's coming up tomorrow. I'll have that up. You can click on the show. You can click on anything. You can click on donate and help out too. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.